Let's go over and see if we can strip this out. It will really be screwed. Yeah, good shot of me there. Supposed to be looking over here though. Okay, so now we're going to do our Loctite one more time. Because we want Loctite on everything. Ooh, got way too much that time. Suck up a little extra. This doesn't really suck up. Alright. Nut. Well, I know what I didn't do. I didn't deburr the center of the hole. Somebody didn't do their job. That's very important to do that. That way when you tighten it down, it doesn't get tight just on that one spot. You want to pull down all the thread. So you have to go deburr that. Very important step I forgot. Alright, so now you chamfer the edge there on the inside, not just the outside. Okay, try this again. Okay. Oh. Getting there. One more. So you gotta hit enough times that the hole lines up. See the hole right there? Looks like I cut an extra 1/10 off the nut I didn't need to. What a shocker. Yeah, see now it sticks out past the nut. I screwed up. Oh well. I can live with it. So I poke these to the back side here. There it goes. And the reason I do that is because I want the sharp edge to be behind the bike, not in the front. When you wipe the bike down, you usually do it from the front side, not the back side. Plus aerodynamically, it's better. I think that really matters on a street bike. Race bike, we care about junk like that. Every little bit helps. At least that's what we keep selling to ourselves as we do all the extra work. Okay. Voila. So, we got the rockers all back together. Right there. Got the extra washers jammed in right there. So now that just spread this apart by the thickness of that washer. Now we gained two things. Is we got the, well, not really. The nut's the same spot. We didn't change. All we did was shorten the stud up. We got the stud out of the way. Plus the cotter key used to go on the outside here, so we saved the thickness of the cotter key, plus we moved the stud over to 80 thou. So theoretically we gained about 1/8 of an inch to 140 thou maybe. Now is that enough? I don't know, because you can see the difference on this one here versus this one. That's the difference we did. So I'm going to go ahead and mock the wheel back up and see what we got. That's the important part. The end result is, does it clear now? If it doesn't clear, then we got to cut the other side off. Okay. Now all I got to do is put this one piece in there because I don't need all the caliper stuff on there right now. So just put the one in there. Put the wheel up. I shim this up so everything's straight across right now to fight it. Okay, where is my spacer at? Here's our old spacer, which is going to be too narrow now. Looks like it's off by about the thickness of a washer. What a shocker. And I put the axle in here. Okay, now we were able to put the darn thing together. That's a plus. We have the, that's how much distance I got to make the spacer longer now. Now you can see how much clearance we have. We have about the thickness of a piece of paper is about our clearance. So if in doubt that we have to take more material off, that should pretty well tell you, yes, we are going to have to take off that extra material over on this side here, which is going to be the thickness of this washer right here. So I have to go measure what this washer is and cut that much exactly off of that. Put it back together, we should be fine. Now we also got to make sure that we clear these bolt heads right here to here, and obviously you can see there's about a 1/4 inch gap in there, so losing a 1/16 or whatever this is not going to hurt us all that much. So we're going to wind up with this much clearance over here when we're done. And I'm going to have to increase the thickness of this by the thickness of that, which is more than this one. So where is my washers here to play with? I don't even have any thick washers. Here's a thick washer right here. Whoop. That one went to the floor. Okay, see, it's a bit more than this too. So more than all these washers. Ah. So we could get the caliper out and measure it, I guess. Attempt to measure it, I should say. Problem is I can't get in there to measure it accurately. So according to this, we're like 150 off. I don't know why we're 150 off. We didn't take off that much metal. We didn't add that much in here, so how can it be 150? That means my other number was off by 150. Okay, so what I need to do is add some more material into this. And it's going to get even worse when I take it off over here. Alright, so we're going to play with this a little bit. So now I'm going to have to go ahead and shorten up that other spot, spacer, come back and do our measurement. This is going to be a lot wider than what initially was going to be for some reason. Somehow I was way the hell off, not sure how. But obviously, it's off. Okay. This comes out. That's way too thin, or too narrow, not thin. And this one's too wide, so we're going to have to make it thinner. Alright, or shorter in this case. Thinner, shorter, wider, longer. Those things make a difference, I guess. Terminology. Okay, where's my caliper at I just had? I put it away already. Wonderful. Okay, so we got our two pieces here. Go back over here. So I gotta put this into the chuck, and we gotta trim off this side here. Now we could cut off this side here, but if we did that, the whole caliper would change its location, which we don't really want to do. I only want to change the width, the location of the wheel, not all the other dimensions. So that's why you cut the other side. My eyeballs aren't working today. I'm going to cheat. Use a dial indicator. See, it's quicker to do it this way. Always like spending 3 times longer doing it the hard way instead of using it the easy way. Of course, the Camera's in the wrong spot again. That's normal. Why would the camera ever be in the right spot? Okay, so there's our indicator. So we'll come in with that. Lower it down a little bit so it gets on where it needs to be. Okay. Figure out what handle to use. Where's my hammer? Are we even looking at the right spot? Yeah, kind of. Okay, so this is high. When it goes up, it's high. We're going to hit from the bottom, so we want to be on a low spot, which means down. You want to know how far off it was? 4 thousandths. 5 thousandths. You want to go half the distance. Now we're within a quarter of a thou. Okay, so see how long it took to do it correctly? Instead of screwing around, in 5 minutes doing the last job, could have done it the correct way in about 30 seconds. Yeah, maybe a minute. That was slow. I was sticking around the camera for half of that time. Okay, now we can go ahead and do our cut just like we did before. Over here. Touch off. And our indicator right here. Okay. Pull away. Okay, let's measure exactly what this is. Yeah. Not quite exact because we're dealing with a piece of crap here. Okay, this says 62 thousandths. So that's close enough for what we want. So we're going to cut 62 off. No more. Maybe a little bit less, but not more. Yeah, we hit right on 0. There we go. Right on 0 means we're cutting 1 thou. Yeah, see we're cutting. Back it off 1 thou. Not touching. Okay, so here's our 0 point. Okay, we're going to cut 62 max. 20. 20 more. Don't want to cut too much because we're barely holding on to that space here. We want to keep our accuracy. Remember what we wanted? We want 60, wasn't it? 40. That's 60. Okay, where are we at here? 1.5. 61.5. And 61.25. Oh, too much. Leave it right there. Let's see if we can cut anything. Let's cut just a sliver off more. Alright. 61.5. That's pretty close to 62 in my book. Yeah. That goes there. You know, we got to deburr this thing because we don't have no sharp edges. So we're going to deburr it. I need my hands to work deburring tools. Alright, so here's our deburring tool. Okay, we took off that much metal. Not much. Okay, now the outside, we use a file. Chamfer it. Don't feel any burrs, so it's good. So there you go. Shorten up by the thickness of that much to within half a thou, hopefully. We should be right on the money or a half under, so that means we didn't cut too much. I was going for 2/10 under. Now, if I measured it beforehand, I would have known if I did it right or not, but I didn't measure it, so oh well. I got busy, forgot about it. Oh well, things happen. Okay, so this is good to go. We're going to clean the chips out of this by running my finger on the inside and clean all the crap out of it. Okay, so that's ready to go together. Now, next thing is we need a spacer. Go in here. Now, for some reason our numbers are way off before. So this one here is 342. We had about, we had more, we had a lot of corners. We had more than what this is here. This is 90, so we have 100, we need more. So we need 100 plus 60, we need 160 more than this. So that means we'd be at 400. What number we need? No, what did I do? I did 150. 150 more than what this is. Okay, so there's 60. There's 150. We're 40, 90. So we need 5. We need 1.5 inches minus 10. So 1.5 inches would probably do the trick. This is a little flexible, I bet. So we need something around 100 and by 1.5 inches in width. So which we don't have right here in front of us because this one here is less than 1.5 inches. 420, 410. Okay. What's this thing? This is inch 580. It's too much. Okay, so we can go find ourselves 1.5 inches long spacer someplace. I don't know why it's that long, but that seems to be what the number it wants today. So we need to get up there to my spacer bench, which is right there, and get me some spacers. Okay, so we have lots of spacers around here. What we got over here? You might have to get 2 spacers to get that number. 1.5 inches is a pretty long one. That's a 400. We already got a 400. This one looks longer than 1.5 inches. It's 1/880. Yeah, that'd be a little bit longer than 1.5 inches. 1/880 is always longer than 1.5 inches. This one here, I don't know. That's at 400 again. 420. So if you take one, you already know how much is too short. You find one that's longer than this one. See that just by looking at them. See, that's way too long. This one here looks pretty promising. Let's see, what's the number we got? 420. How can that be longer than we have? That's the same damn thing. Dumbass. Dumbass has no feel. That's way too long. I don't think they have 1.5 inches spacer. Nope. Nope. Yeah, down here. Looks like another 400. 420. Yep. Appears we don't have 1.5 inches spacer. 420 again. Got a lot of 420s. That ain't gonna fly. Okay, so we need 1.5 inches, we think. I'm not sure. Let's see, 80. Okay, so we gotta come up with a combination of stuff that's gonna get what we need. I'm looking for an open one so I don't have to cut open a new one again. I did enough already. Just gonna try other box here. Let's see if we got anything on this box. The one we might have opened up. It's a big one. Okay, I'm not seeing anything here that can help me. Oop. These are pretty long looking. These are butt ugly though. Look how ugly these things are. 700. not going to help us. Okay, so we don't have what we need. So we need 1.5 inches. How are we going to get to 1.5 inches? We need a couple spacers. Okay. Ah, bang myself. So what do we got in here we can steal? Okay, here's a thin one right here. It's got about a 1/2 inch, a little under probably. Yep, 1/2 inch, minus 4 or 5 thousandths. Okay, so that can go inside the wheel. Now we need a 1-inch one. Didn't get a 1 inch anywhere. I know they had like a 980 someplace. I remember that size. Let's see, that's probably 1.25 inches or better. Yeah, that's 420. That's more than 1 inch. Quarter. There's something there. 1 1/4. I missed it by 1/4 inch. That looks close. It's closer. It's another 1 1/4. Yeah. My eyes are way off tonight. There's 8 something. There's something way over here. Ooh, look at that. There's a 1 incher. That looks like zinc and not chrome though. Oops, that's chrome on it. Okay, there's a 1 inch spacer. It even says 1 inch. There's a 1/2 inch spacer. That makes it 1 1/2. Okay, that would be close to what we need. Here's one that's even less if they're screwed up by a bunch for some reason. This is a 830. Okay, we'll grab that just in case we need it. In case we can't figure out what the hell we want in the real world. This is probably 1 inch here, isn't it? Yeah, this is a 1 inch right here. Yeah, close enough. I can use this for mock-up. Okay, we got some numbers to go with now. See, I don't like cutting down spacers if I don't have to. See, if you have a bunch in stock, just grab what you need. Okay, so now we're back over here again. Let's see, I know these tools. I'm going to put this damn thing over there. I got no room. Okay, that's 1 inch. This is a 1 inch also, I think. This bag was opened already, so I'm going to use it. Okay. Okay, this should be 1.5 inches. Okay, we're 5 thou under. We were looking for 15 thou under. We were looking for 10 under, so it's pretty close. I can live with that. Let's see if we're got the real number. Okay, so this spacer goes down on the hub. This one goes on the other hub. This goes on this side. We're going to get to it. Okay, let's get this thing up in the air. Ah. Okay, 1 spacer over here. 1 thin spacer over here. Okay, now we can slip the wheel in and slide a spacer in easily now when we need one. An axle. Okay. Here's our 1 inch spacer. Let's see if it fits. Ooh, fits right in there with a little bit of clearance. Okay, so we're coming up, we need more. So we are probably about 30 thou under what we need. Okay, let's go and put that in there though. Just kind of get an idea where we're at here. Okay, so now you can see how we got our clearance right here. So we're good. We got a little bit of clearance here in the rocker for some reason. Not sure why we're coming with all these clearances. Springs are pretty flexible, so I think we're just going to tighten that up and run it. Okay, so now I'm going to put the brake and stuff back all over here and see if all that works. Okay, I need to get this here spacer out in here so I can trim it a little bit. Poke that out with a punch or something. And then we see where we're at on all this stuff. Okay, so we got, looks like we're in a step in the right direction here. Okay, so, all right. I'm thinking when we tighten this down, it shifted the rocker out like that a little bit, maybe. So, okay. We know where we're at least. Okay. Okay, that comes out easily, which I like. Could be just a tick thicker. I don't think they have to make a spacer that's more than a 1/2 inch though. It's kind of an odd size already. You need like a 530. I don't think they have a 530. I know they have a 630. And we have to have a 900, which they don't make. They make an 880. Got all kinds of weird numbers. Okay, so this is not going to stay up there by itself. So I'm going to put it back on the ground. Okay, now I got to lube this thing up. We're not going to use our blue grease. We're going to use our Tribodine grease. I'm using blue grease in here because these have Zerks on them. You can lubricate them. This here you'll never lubricate again, and it's live. So I'm going to put the good stuff on this part. This will be our Tribodine greasy. So this is messier. It's not a good layer up on here. Get a nice even coat all over the whole thing. Like that. A little bit over here where the seal goes also. And the seal's got some lubricant on them also. They kind of like that. Okay, so that is our inner. Okay, here's our assembly here. Goes in there like this. Voila. Some more grease on this side because it's not going to get any more. Put our spacer over here. We should be flush. See, it looks like we got a small amount of gap in there, which we're after for. Now the reason we didn't want to cut too much was because when we tighten this thing down, we want the sleeve to be tight and not this outer piece, because this has to flex. This bracket has to rotate as the spring or rockers work, or it'll lock up everything. So this has to be flexible. So that's why you got to make it that way. Okay, that's you. Okay, where's our other spacer at? That's right here. I'm going to put a little bit of grease on this, just for the hell of it. I could use the cheap stuff on this, but we'll put the good stuff on here. We're doing a good job, right? Cover that up. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and put this in down here. This goes up here. Our axle in. Spacer. We're not going to use this ugly one with the grooves in it. We're going to put this pretty one in there. Take that right up. We're going to use this nice new one here, so unopened. Ooh, no grooves. Looks a lot better. Okay. There is all my. nut. Who's got the nut? Okay, we're going to take our axle nut. Put an initial torque on this and see how they are. Okay, got a little bit of torque on there right now. Okay, so after we're all done, you can see how we got a nice good clearance right there, so we don't have to worry about our hubcap hitting. Got plenty of clearance down there. Caliper bracket's free floating. See the gap it has in it right there. See the gap? So that won't drag. Okay, that's we got to make sure it does not hit on that nut right there. We're going to get this all buttoned up here. But this doesn't sit this close, it actually sits about here. So that'll give us a little bit of clearance right there. The caliper should still be lined up here, hopefully, but we'll work on that later. Okay, so this here, I went and got me a regular nut, a regular bolt, which will thread into here. I got a standard washer, so it gives you protection, so in case the heim joint fails, the washer should hold it to joint, hopefully, so you don't lose it, which would be a bad thing. We wouldn't want to lose it. Okay, so I'm going to turn that around. I'm going to put the Zerk things up here that nobody has any kind of a gun that can grease them. Be like impossible. Okay, we're going to this other side over here now. Okay, so this goes back in here like this. Tighten it down just a little bit. And then we're going to jam lock it with an acorn nut on the outside right here. So it all looks like it's supposed to, nice and pretty. Okay, now we got to figure out what we got going on here. So we're going to go up this high for the heim joint. Okay, which gives our clearance. Okay, now we got to figure out how much we want to cut off of this thing over here. You can see how it goes way out here relative to here. So we got to figure out how much we're going to take off. So that there is a little bit of a cut. I think we need to go more than that. We can go 1/8 of an inch pretty easy there, it looks like. So I think I'm going to take 1/8 of an inch off that spacer. I'm going to have to beat that out with a punch because someone beat it in there with a hammer. Remember that hammer we used? Alright. So we're going to have to knock that thing out. Okay, we'll be back in a minute, get some more tools.